What's up guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new HNN. We've got a ton to talk about today, from an exclusive Guardians of the Galaxy 2 scoop, a fantastic new cast member added for Spider-Man Homecoming, and finally we'll round out the day with some new Wolverine 3 details. But alright, we'll start off your day with that exclusive Hybrid Network Guardians of the Galaxy 2 scoop. Now, this is a two-parter and we're gonna reveal some plot points. Plus, you're hearing this here first, so if you don't want to know, click away now. Alright, if everyone's ready, contrary to reports, Thanos will actually appear in the film even if he isn't the main villain. Now, the size of his role right now is unknown, but our sources are telling us that he will show up and he will play a role in the plot. And it might just have something to do with the second half of this exclusive scoop, which concerns Gamora's cyborg sibling, Nebula. So in the beginning of the movie, Nebula is still hunting for Gamora, but somewhere over the course of the movie, she'll actually team up with the Guardians in line with the Geek.com report from a couple of months back. But the real meat here is that we'll actually see in flashbacks how Nebula became the cyborg she is today, which was actually previously shown in the Guardians of the Galaxy prequel comic. That seems to me to be the most likely and natural place for Thanos to make his appearance, and honestly, I'm more excited for this movie now more than ever because I really want to see them dive in and explore that relationship between Gamora and Nebula more than we got in the first movie. So let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of that story, but let's stick around in the MCU, and for our next story, we'll talk a little bit more about Spider-Man Homecoming. After adding Kenneth Choi to play his high school principal and Michael Barbieri to play one of Peter's high school friends last week, Marvel has now added a fan favorite to the film. That's right, the inspiration for Miles Morales himself, Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, will be appearing in the film, according to The Hollywood Reporter. And honestly, I can't tell you how happy I am about this. Glover is one of my favorite actors out there, and he's kind of a triple threat. He's a fantastic actor, which we saw in movies like The Martian. He's a hilarious comedian, and in my opinion, he's actually a pretty good rapper, but feel free to disagree with me about that in the comment section. Now, his role in the movie is actually being kept locked up tight according to THR, but that hasn't stopped people from speculating that he could be connected to the character that he inspired, Miles Morales. And personally, I doubt that for a couple of reasons. Firstly, unless they're flipping the script with Miles and making him the older and wiser of the Spider-Men, Bino's not really in the age group you'd be looking for the ultimate Spider-Man in. Secondly, I have this conspiracy theory that it was one of the unrevealed parts of the Marvel-Sony deal that Marvel could have Peter and have him in the MCU and make all these Spider-Man films, but Sony was going to keep Miles and make all these animated Spider-Man films with him. Kind of like, okay, you guys can adapt this Spider-Man, we'll adapt this one. He could of course be playing someone like Miles' father or even maybe his uncle, but only time will tell. Personally, and yes, this was inspired by his role in The Martian, but I think he might be playing the Tinkerer, who is rumored to be kind of the secondary villain of the film. But we might know more in a couple of weeks when the movie starts filming, or even a couple of weeks further down the line at SDCC. But let me know in the comment section down below. Comment question of the day: who do you think Donald Glover is playing in Spider-Man Homecoming? And in our last story, we have some brand new details about Wolverine 3, in part a seeming confirmation of a story we talked about last week and a continuation of a story we talked about 2 weeks ago. First up, let's talk about the movie's potential title. As we talked about actually just a week ago today, the hot rumor is that the film will be called Wolverine Weapon X. Well, it seems like there might be more to that rumor than just speculation, as the usually reputable Twitter account at X-Men Films reports that Fox has actually registered two titles for the currently unnamed film: Wolverine Weapon X and just simply Weapon X. That's huge, as it of course confirms that rumor, but it also suggests that we're not going to be getting a straight-up Old Man Logan adaptation, as Weapon X didn't really have a huge role in that story. But the second part of this story runs with those set photos that we got about a week and a half ago that might have given us our first look at X-23. This comes to us from That Hashtag Show, who as usual have some incredible sources on the inside and have obtained a character breakdown for the little girl that we saw in those photos. Now, as usual, take this with a grain of salt. Nothing is confirmed yet, and I'm just going to read a few snippets of that report, so for more, be sure to check out the complete breakdown in the description below. Codename Zowie, a 12 to 15-year-old girl, a pound puppy raised in captivity in a time of battle without support systems of a normal childhood. She has no family and until now has never left the compound in which she was born. She has not been instructed in many social conventions. She can eat like an animal. She studies and often mimics people's behavior. She has a high IQ, but is also a temperamental, impulsive, and feral creature that can raise genuine mayhem. Martial arts or gymnastics experience preferred, but not necessary, but actress must be extremely physical and able to improvise scenes without necessarily resorting to speech. Do not play it cute. So that, in my humble opinion, tells us quite a bit. Firstly, it tells us that even if we're in a more Death of Wolverine style movie, some kind of big cataclysmic battle a la Old Man Logan happened while Zowie was being raised. Her having no family could just be a result of losing people in that battle, or being orphaned by other means, or even taken, but it could also be taken literally, as clones don't really have a natural family. Pound puppy, raised in a compound, temperamental, impulsive, feral creature. It all kind of seems to point in that direction. And let me know in the comment section down below if you doubted that X-23 was going to be in this movie. Do you still doubt it, or are you buying it now? Personally, I'm sold. I was sold even before this, long before this, but I'm sold again. And so with that, that brings us to the end of another HNN. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw. Subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider supporting us on Patreon for access to all sorts of exclusive goodies. And be sure to check out our gaming channel, Press Play, where we're already live streaming pretty regularly on Twitch, and we're working on getting even more content up and running on YouTube as we speak. So signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you tomorrow.